Hi, everyone. My name is Jay Miller,
And my name is Hazel Miller.
and we're the co-publishers at Book Hug Press, and it's our great pleasure to welcome you all to the virtual launch of Catalogue d'Oiseaux by Aaron Tucker.
Before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge that the land we're joining you from this evening has, for thousands of years, been the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and today is still home to many diverse Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island. And we are grateful to have the opportunity to live, gather, and work on this land. We also acknowledge that some of you in the virtual audience tonight are joining us from other places, and we encourage anyone who wishes to do so to please share an acknowledgement of where you're joining us from using the chat function at the bottom of your screen.
We're really excited to launch Aaron's book with you all tonight. We've known Aaron for a long time now, and this book marks his second publication with our press. In 2017, we released Irresponsible Mediums, The Chess Games of Marcel Duchamp, and today we welcome Catalogue d'Oiseaux to our list. So happy publication day, Aaron. And while, of course, we're unable to gather in person tonight to celebrate, we're really thankful that you've all joined us here in this virtual space.
Before we get started, we just wanted to go over a quick bit of housekeeping. First, live closed captions are available this evening. And to access the captions, please click on the CC or closed caption button that you'll see at the bottom of your screen and simply follow the prompts. Secondly, tonight's event is being recorded, and in the coming days, we will make the video available to watch on our YouTube channel. We've got a great event lined up for you. Aaron has invited some wonderful people to join him tonight as guest readers. We have Shazia Hafiz Ramji, we have Kirby and Julia Polyck-O'Neill all contributing readings. And we have some really fantastic videos to share with you tonight from Adam Seelig, Scott Tysdal, and Lia Tarachansky.
If you haven't already purchased your copy of Catalogue d'Oiseaux, you may wish to order one or many copies directly from our website, bookhugpress.ca. Alternatively, the book is also available for purchase from Knife Fork Book, either a la carte or part of KFB's wonderful monthly subscription series. And we'll drop links to these links to be able to purchase them at these places in the chat function during the event. And so now on with the event. It is our great pleasure to welcome the person we're all here to fet tonight, Aaron Tucker. Over to you, Aaron.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, just making sure I'm not muted in classic Zoom fashion. I'm so happy to see everybody chatting away and everything like that, and getting to see you in the participants list. It's really wonderful. Just really quickly, I wanted to start by thanking a few people. First and foremost, Jay and Hazel, who have put a lot of support and love behind this book and the previous book and behind many books. And I'm always grateful to them for everything that they do, as well to Danielle, who has been helping with some of the promotion, different things like that in the background. I'm really grateful to her at Book Hug. I also wanted to thank Karen Soley for helping with editing, not just helping with editing, for editing the book and turning it in from kind of a straggly little thing into something that's more polished and I think more interesting. The book is beautiful. Look at how beautiful it is. And we have Ingrid Paulson to thank for that as well, who did the cover design, the interior design. I wanted to thank Ingrid as well. I also saw that Clara is here, Clara Duplessis, who blurbed the book, which I was really grateful for as well. So thank you. And Kirby also blurbed the book, but we're going to hear from Kirby. You know, it made me a little sad to not get to see other people, but looking at this list, getting to share with people from across Canada, from across North America. My parents are here, Julia's parents are here, I have aunts, I have family here, which never really gets to happen, and I'm really grateful for that. So thank you to all my friends and family who are here. It really means a lot, so thank you so much. lastly, of course, and you're going to hear from her as well, I have to thank Julia, who the book is dedicated to. She's my soulmate. She's my best friend. She also happens to be the smartest and most beautiful person I know, and I'm really excited for her to read tonight as well. So we have a lot of moving parts, which I'm also very excited about, including some films, some readings, and some music. We're actually going to start with some music. Adam Seelig was kind enough to learn 3 different parts from Catalogue d'Oiseau, a very difficult piano piece, and he recorded it, and we're going to listen to some of it. He's originally from Vancouver. He's a playwright, he's a poet, he's a stage director, and the founder of One Little Goat Theater Company in Toronto. He has a really incredible book of poetry, Every Day in the Morning Slow, which I strongly encourage you to read. He is immensely talented, and his talents are really only matched by his generosity and just what a good person he is. So we're gonna watch a short video actually of him playing a part from Catalogue d'Oiseau, the Corbeau. What a way to start. That's really amazing. Let's all thank Adam. We're going to hear 2 more from Adam as well, but I thought I would begin the reading portion by reading from Catalogue d'Oiseau, in particular, one of the parts that talks about the piano composition from Olivier Messiaen. I thought of that night, of Philadelphia, of Berlin at my desk, early spring, writing to Messiaen's Catalogue d'Oiseau. Solo piano through the bird vocals, atonal and massive, 13 shifts, through Chocard des Alpes, Merlet bleu, Chuit Hulot, Merlet des Roches, Corlys cendré, Alouette loulou. A marathon over 2 hours, non-melody bird song, counterpoint. This catalogue is incomplete but whole. I wrote as you slept in Mainz, Toronto burbling against the lengthening shadows, listening to the composition's sublime horizon, like the shores of Lake Geneva, Lausanne, where you had a conference and I a day to explore the unnamed serpentine stone walkways, beginning at La Cathédrale de Lausanne, a whale skeleton, ribbon blanc. I looked over the uneven roofs that eroded down to the lake, reading Nicole Brossard's Mauve Desert, New Mexico inside Switzerland. Keep to beauty, have no fear, muffle civilization's noises in you. Learn to bear the unbearable, the raw of all things. A book about a translator in translation, a nesting doll of language. And there, my knees against my chest at warm noon, all the clocks chimed at once, tidal, cacophonous city music. I walked the steep downhill, ordered a crepe in my garbled French, self-consciously repeating stock phrases, over listening to responses and apologetically replying. At a small bistro table with plastic utensils, a crowd swirled, carrying vegetables and bags, green carrot tops and lettuce, coffees in hand. I was an obvious visitor, but your fluency is camouflage. When we went out together, I admired your poised French, as you easily exchanged with shop owners. Tenez-vous en à la bouteille, n'ayez peur de rien. Amortissez en vous les bruits de la civilisation. Sachez soutenir l'insoutenable, le cru de toutes choses. I cut across the square up the uneven stairs to Le Palais de Rumine, To the top floor, the rotunda connecting two museum spaces. Long glass cases of taxidermied birds, predators poised on driftwood over labels and staring back. Imperial eagles next to buzzards and roosters, pheasants, small turtle doves and peacocks, followed by seafowl, 10 ducks, a half dozen pelicans, brown and white, next to condors that lumbered even in death, a Goliath heron, a long-billed sandpiper, hopo, 2 flamingos, their hearts in a neck, then a towering jaebru, stiff-legged marabou beside cranes, hook-billed ibises alongside dual-chrome penguins, smaller stations on the walls for hummingbirds pinned like delicate bugs, streaked parakeets, cartoonish toucans, Rollier, a name without English translation, its tiered blue plumage captured in diving precision, multiple hornbills, the birds grow stranger, mythic, untranslatable colors, raw of things, a case labeled combatants filled with owl after owl, uncanny in their unblinking assessments, one posed with its talons sunk into a squirming wolf cub, wings spread in menace, chest expanding but dead, conquered by the noise of civilization. Thinking of Messiaen, his loving and living composition, and your French to the server, fluent instrumentalist, a jackdaw who others might mistake for a crow, in neglecting the gradations of your dark plumage that lighten to the tips of your wings, darken to the wedge of your beak, a jackdaw among makeshift Lausanne markets, tables piled with cords that snake to electronics, winding between atlases next to children's books, next to color prints of city buildings, Swiss histories, signatures, and you eye each, imagining how it will fit between the 2 tallest buildings where you have built your nest home. Scraps of fabric wound between utensils, receipts, newspaper, a TV, 2 chairs, pebbles, a table leg, straw, leaves, branches, a frog's skeletons, the feathers of other lesser birds. You wander the market until you find a small altarpiece, wooden, 3 parts, red and glinting gold. The Madonna holds a child in each segment. Opportunistic, a thief at heart, you imagine yourself stealing it while the man has his back turned and flying off. Instead, he turns, greets you, bonjour, and you barter, comment vas-tu? Bien, bien. Combien? 15 francs? Ah non, 12 francs? Non merci, 10 francs. Ah oui, oui. And he wraps it in stiff paper, tapes it closed, waves goodbye as you rise airborne over countries and oceans, across time zones and rivers, return to our bed or outside my Toronto window, listening to the uneven piano. You are a swan on Lake Geneva's harbor, across from Mont Blanc's jagged visage. You bend your slender neck towards an offering in a child's hand. You are a thrush nesting in the conservatory at Allen Gardens across from our Toronto apartment. You flit between wide leaves of exotic plants, their light green veins, the bright blooms, creeping shrubs. You are a jackdaw on our apartment's window ledge, watching as I write to you while listening to Messiaen's piece, as performed by his wife, Yvonne Loride, in collaboration, and I imagine him composing with her straight back in mind and her fingers spanning, migrating between each bird. The piece is perfectly tailored to her body, so only she can play it. And when she performs it, it is the only music ever written. It seals the couple, the music a bridge between 2 shores. So I'm gonna transition then out of that and Adam's beautiful piano piece into Daniel Scott Tysdal's rejected book trailers for Catalogue d'Oiseaux, which I'm very excited about. Daniel, I was lucky enough, I had an earlier version of Catalogue d'Oiseaux published by Anne Strother Press with Jim Johnson and Erica Smith, and Daniel helped to co-edit it with Ali Fleming, both of which are here, and I'm really grateful. Daniel is the author of many things, but most recently, the Mad Fold-In poems with Frog Hollow Press, which is exactly what you think it is. They're poems that you can fold and they make new things. I often will teach students out of his vocational poems, which I really, really enjoy. And he's been making short films for the last few years, and I've really enjoyed being able to share those with him. And I was thrilled when he agreed to make one for the occasion of this launch. So without further ado, let's watch Rejected Book Trailers by Daniel Tysdal.
My friend Aaron is a feeder, is a blue jay. My friend Aaron is a chickadee, a dove. If you buy his book, you'll be a feeder, you'll be a blue jay. If you buy his book, you'll be a chickadee, a dove. A sunrise on the lake, a turtle in the sludge. If you buy his book, you'll be a chickadee, hooray!
Are you tired of this, 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 and this? Then buy Aaron Tucker's Catalogue D'Oiseau. Not guaranteed to stop spills, wipeouts, crashes, nausea, blending, or haunting by miniature dancing skeletons or clowns.
A machine to make people do very bad things. You got the teeth of RuPaul, but without the sauce. Try harder. If you are a human, you can check it out and then give me your opinion on
Oh, thank you, Daniel. We can all clap for that as well. That's incredible. Thank you so much. It's my great pleasure to introduce Shazia. I cannot recommend her book highly enough, Port of Being with Invisible Books. It's incredible, wide-ranging, smart, uh, beautiful in parts, eviscerating in others. It's really incredible, and I highly recommend it. Her autofiction has also recently appeared in the short film Color Study, which is available on CBC Gem. She was nominated for the 2020 Pushcart Prizes, and she is going to begin her PhD in English at the University of Calgary in the fall, which I'm also very excited about for her. So thank you so much, Shazia, and I'm looking forward to hearing you read.
Hi everyone. It is so hard to follow up on those adverts. That was really great. I love the metal piece. All of them. Yeah. Thank you, Aaron, for having us all together and for bringing us together with such interdisciplinary fun and humor. And I feel like the mood of my poem just no longer matches the mood that I'm feeling right now. But I will do my best to share. And it's such a treat to be here with you. I feel like I've been living vicariously through your Instagram stories and your adventures with Julia through art galleries and conferences, and now we're getting to be here together in real time and celebrate Catalogue D'Oiseau. Okay, I'll share a couple of poems that are a couple of poems in progress. This one is called Mariam in the Country of My Body. And I wrote it actually after getting back from Dublin a couple of years ago, where Aaron and Julia also were. This one's called Mariam in the Country of My Body. In the small room above the canal, I pray against the window, hiccup and breath. My imagined great-grandmother makes her way into my mouth. If prayer can be madness, what do you call someone like me, who is forgotten? I call her Mariam. Her name was Mary. The archives found me much later in a different country that was not Ireland. She was Irish, elsewhere called Anglo-Indian, elsewhere still an orphan, the loot of an officer who ate chocolate on the dashboard of a plane that disappeared in a country where I was sent to share a part of myself. There is no room for coincidence even in poems. I cannot ask you to listen to the tangle of a life being lived through, a life not mine, but mine shuffling air in the duvet and the sheets, the way my neighbor listens to me speak in the dark, our windows gaping across each other, our night passage ringing her name through headphones. Thank you for that comment, Clara. I feel like it's I'm constantly just when I'm on Zoom, I'm constantly just waiting to hear something back. I forget that I'm not in person. So I generally rely on the room and read the room a little bit. Thank you all for being here again, and thank you, Erin. This one is also a poem in progress called You Forgot How to Be Alone. You forgot how to be alone. You forgot the briar tastes your air. In that other country, you forgot the lorry makes stone mill of the road. You forgot how to be alone. You forgot curled leaves on the bough like sleeping ears. Coyotes wooing after a siren. Death can be a glance in the mirror. Muscle of light like your mother. You forgot the birds and their ancient gossip. You forgot the names of your kin. Around you, a thorny army of thistle. You forgot the violence of rooting. What hangs on the tangerine imprint of your lip on the cup. You forgot how coincidence breaks time. Dew and crinkle on skin like eroding stars. You forgot how to kneel. Pick up your phone for the Qibla. Face the sky only in prayer. And a somersault, you forgot. You forgot how to be alone. You forgot the end of the poem. A screen of rain rotting away the sill. Train galloping through. Some more air. Thank you everyone for being here, and shout out to the hoopoe in Aaron's book and all the other birds. The image of the swan in the lake facing Mont Blanc Peak. I love that. It's such a great book. It made me want to be in love with everything and everybody. So please check it out too.
Oh, thank you so much, Shazia, and thank you too for reading poems in progress. It's really, really wonderful to get to hear those as well, and you can see in the chat people kind of highlighting what they really loved, and you could probably highlight both of those poems in their entirety. So we're going to have another musical interlude from Adam Seelig. He's going to be playing a section called Loriot, which I'm very excited about. And the remixes that Adam does is so charming. The When Doves Cry and Burn on a Wire. Thank you, Adam. We can clap again for Adam each and every time. Clap for everyone. I'm really excited. I keep saying that, but I just am genuinely really excited to introduce Kirby, who's going to be our next reader. His work, sorry, rooting around here, include This Is Where I Get Off with Permanent Press, and the upcoming What Do You Want to Be Called and Poetry is Queer. What Do You Want to Be Called is coming up with Anne Struther, and Poetry is Queer is coming out with Palimpsest. I'm excited to read those works. You probably also know Kirby as the curator of Knife Fork Book, the best bookstore in Canada. If you've met him, you know that he is probably the kindest, nicest person that you could ever meet. And I'm just really grateful to be able to call him my friend. So thank you so much, Kirby, for being here.
Hello, loves. Aaron, what a joy to be with you on your pub date. I'm blown away by this book. For those of you that haven't read it yet, it's a long poem and it's a love poem, and it completely seduces and sweeps you away. And I'm so touched by its tenderness, by its observations, and the love that dwells there. So you certainly moved this queen's heart, and I'm thrilled for you. So congratulations on your book. And I have a new book coming out this fall. Hopefully we'll have another opportunity to read together, you and I. It's called Poetry is Queer, and I'm reading one selection from it for you tonight, which is called Superstar. Wait, we're paying how much to hear it, DJ? Plus the drugs? Plus an outfit? Oh, plus good drugs. We're talking at least $100. It's Junior Vasquez cresting off his Madonna remix tour at Cool House, which used to be the government. The Orange Room, those great label nights, Ninja Tune, Mowax, Warp, where I'd seen everybody from the Jesus and Mary chain to Mazzy Star to Marky Mark. And here we are, awash in the shirtless, big eyes, big smiles, swirling ecstasies, swirl, 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 swirling limbs, swirling nipples, swirling teeth, swirling eyes, swirling, swirling, rising, rising, all arms in the air, jump, 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 beats surging faster than tongues, the magic of chems. Arthur and Hermano are exact bookends. It doesn't matter what the hell is going on the floor. These two, their eyes never leave each other. Fingertips touching fingertips, each reflecting the other, perfectly matched, etched bodies, the perfect unit. At times they would surround me in their love shower, and I felt like the vibration of a tuning fork. I was one of the few that didn't go shirtless. I could have. My body was benefiting from a regular diet and dancing down to its slimmest, but for me still a little too. Suddenly, I look up and there's Hermano. Now, you have to understand that his name is Hermano for a reason. There is only one. His is the beauty one sees in marble, the prettiness of Salminio, the sultry of James Dean, and the sexy allure of name your favorite porn stud, looking right at me as he saunters over, places himself in front of me, starts caressing and begins to peel my shirt up off my body. looking directly into my eyes the entire time, and it's Hermano, so I let him. Then he stands back, looks me up and down, appreciatively. And I'm really seeing this for the very first time. It's not a De Palma movie, though the E is lovey-dovey and there is only love, and he turns me around and puts my shirt in the back pocket and turns me around and kisses me and smiles and swirl, 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 swirl. Arthur returns and his mouth drops open, seeing me without my shirt. He bends my ear. Kirby, that's so much better. You're so fucking hot. Swirl, 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 swirl. And the music itself begins to swirl, slow down, 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 78, 45, 33 and a third, crescendos, explodes into colors, swirling colors, the voice of a diva, a song brings everything to a complete love puddle mess. I see your true colors shining. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. And the gays just go fucking out of their mind wild. And oh my fucking God, I can't believe this. And oh fucking God, oh my God, oh my God. The exit doors fly open and the warehouse blazes in sunlight. It's morning already. We're slowly pouring into the parking lot where gulls are having their own gathering. Hermano wonders if they're turns. And I laugh, wondering how one might tell a turn from a gull. And we make it back to my place and take turns showering, and Arthur starts to rummage through my vinyl, and oh my God, I haven't heard this in forever. Can we play this? And I smile and say, sure, and put it on. Crackle, 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 crackle. Baby, I can fly like a bird. When you told me in your eyes, watch me spin around, wandering up and wandering down. But I am not a bird. I am not a plane. I'm Superman. And Arthur and I sing full voice, him standing on my bed, the bath towel, his cape, and Hermano steps out wondering who and what the fuck are we listening to? And we continue to have our Babs moment, the same moment we had in our gay teenage bedrooms. My sweet life has just begun. Thank you.
Oh, Kirby, thank you so much. Oh, and I'm so excited. So it's coming out in the fall. Poetry is Queer, and if that's just a small bit of it, imagine what the whole thing is. It's going to be wonderful. Thank you so much, Kirby. That incredible performance, and what a great addition to the evening. I'm going to introduce Lia Tarachansky's short film, which I fell in love with immediately when she sent it to me. It's called You Are Currently Running an Experimental Version of Earth. Lia and I joined the York Cinema and Media Arts program, the doctoral program at the same time. And her and I have been through some things together. And there's nobody else I would have rather have gone through it with. She's fierce, fiercely intelligent, but also one of the funniest people I know, and I can talk with her forever. She is an endless kind of repository of stories and facts and interesting things. In addition, she is a filmmaker, a really, really accomplished filmmaker. She's an investigative journalist. She's worked for the BBC World, The Guardian, Telesur, and she's just an incredible person. And I was so touched that she took on making a short film for the occasion of this. And again, it's called You Are Currently Running an Experimental Version of Earth. So thank you so much, Lia, and let's watch it together.
Prados e campinas verdejantes, ele me leva a descansar. Para as águas repousantes me encaminha e restaura as minhas forças. O Senhor é o meu pastor. Nada me pode faltar. Ele me guia no caminho mais seguro, pela honra do seu nome. Mesmo que eu passe pelo vale tenebroso, nenhum mal eu temerei. Estás comigo com bastão e com cajado, eles me dão a segurança. O Senhor Preparais à minha frente uma mesa, bem à vista do inimigo. E com óleo vós ungis minha cabeça, o meu cálice transborda. O Senhor é o meu pastor, nada me pode faltar. Felicidade e todo bem hão de seguir-me por toda a minha vida. E na casa do Senhor habitarei pelos tempos infinitos. O Senhor é o meu pastor, nada me pode faltar. Glória ao Pai, e ao Filho e ao Espírito Santo, como era no princípio, agora e sempre. Amém. O Senhor é o meu pastor, nada me pode
Sorry, I taken aback just watching it and kind of engrossed in it and didn't realize we were coming back. That moment, I think Ralph mentioned it too, where it goes from kind of the computerized sky into the actual sky. It's just such a beautiful transition. So thank you so much, Leah. I really, yeah, I'm really touched by it. Perfect. Thank you. We're gonna move on to another reader. Speaking of perfect, Julia Polyck-O'Neill, who is now Dr. Julia Polyck-O'Neill, is going to read next. Most of you know her, I would guess. She's an artist, curator, critic, poet, and writer. She has been a former lecturer at the Obama Institute at Johannes Gutenberg University in Mainz. And she's currently going to be starting a postdoc at the Sensorium at York University. So we're going to be kind of reading or working together, which is great. She also writes incredible poetry. So here are the two above ground chapbooks. She's also just recently published material with Model Press, a online press that Ryan Fitzpatrick runs and puts together. In addition to this, she is the most amazing person that I know. There's nothing she can't do. She's incredibly intelligent. She's so much fun to be around, and Lord knows we're just around each other all the time, every day. And I can't imagine doing it with anybody else. So this book is for her, and I'm really happy that she's going to read. So I'll step aside.
Now I feel awkward. Thank you so much, Erin. I am so touched by this book. The original manuscript was a gift for our anniversary, which was really beautiful. And I was living in Germany and really missing Erin, and he visited shortly thereafter. And we've just had a really wonderful time together. And even during lockdown number 3 here in Toronto, it's been really wonderful to be able to spend this terrible time with someone so wonderful as Erin. I'm going to read from a couple of newer works. First is a serial poem, or part of a serial poem called Cell Atlas that was published with Ice Flow Press. Cell Atlas. 1. Rude flesh erodes, private treason. Where is the valor in guileful flesh? Extend maps to include seditious bodies. Read testimonials into the mapped bodies of others. Bodily locations elaborate an embodied, situated ethics. One hand feels the other, looping, perpetual. Map the body in your infant brain, bodies as diagnostic, bodies as pedagogies, bodies both do and do not facilitate touch. Bodies narrate their own decline, a tautology. 2. Bodies map depth. Cell atlases map the entirety of bodies, anxious, exquisite meat. The importance of touch and feeling, overseeing and the scopic, this passionate, intelligent and memory-driven flesh. The world that you see is not the world that exists. It has been heavily retouched by your retina. A string that aims to weave a cell atlas. Maps are consequential in constructing a feared self. Bodies foreclose narratives, bodies as monuments and parables. Poem for flesh. There is no symmetry, this far from an easy moment, both representation and intelligent silence. In other words, perfectly cultural, an arcane meaning, opaque definitions. The bodies move through this opacity like cursive notes, epigrammic but sterling. What is lost when the center cannot hold? The theory of the maternal imagination, after Rosie Bradotti's Monsters, Mothers, and Machines. My womb bears living capital. Monsters are born of 3 acts: thinking, dreaming, and looking. And I'm going to move towards a short reading of some of my poems from material from Model Press, with thanks to Ryan Fitzpatrick, who is attending this evening. This material fell down after Liz Magor's downer. Every decision I've made was deliberate. Have a pickup truck and put it in the back. Hypothetically, you are going to cover it up with stuff. I think of this as faded. Vividness is fugitive. I invite a strain of nostalgic longing. All of those things have lost their context. Failure after Liz Magor's downer. When I go into the world, almost everything I see is failure. It seems like success usually goes downhill. Material fails, style goes out of style. Objects are replaced by something else. Did this exist? Did this guide you? And a metric of failure after Liz Magor's downer. Sometimes it seems like it's not going to be okay, but then it is okay. We sometimes need to remind ourselves, empty drinking cup, socks, jewelry box. We need to remind ourselves that this is all by chance. Finally, intelligence in the material after Liz Magor's downer. It seems like it's infinite, but there are only 6 categories of events that repeat. Socks on and socks off, and it will be like this, a sculpture in the bedroom. It seems like chaos going on, but it's a sculpture, a life, the life of objects, socks off. We dress and undress, a life, a sculpture, a decision, a dress. It's soft, the expressive softness, a life alive. Thank you very much. And thank you to Aaron for including me in this.
How could I not include you? I'm immensely proud of you and proud of your work and everything you do. So I'm so happy that you were able to be a part of this and of course be a part of my life. It was really, really great. We're going to now watch the last of the 3 videos from Adam Seelig, the Alouette Lulu, which is really lovely, and I think a nice place to kind of end. And then I'm going to read just a little bit from the book. Ah, thank you, Adam. Let's all clap and do whatever you need to do in your own spaces to thank Adam for these 3 really incredible pieces, and again, such a generous thing to take on and to learn, and just really, really wonderful. I'm gonna close the evening just by reading, not that far from where I stopped actually, at the start of the evening. And you fell asleep that night, our last in Berlin, your head on my chest, your seashell ear lulled by heartbeat. You washed ashore. We held each other, forgetting we had to pack, drifted across dreams, partly memories of looking out the plane window and descending into Philadelphia, into Porto, into Geneva, into Paris, into Frankfurt, woke in the solitude of early morning. We patiently found all the tender places. I focused on that spot behind your left ear, shiver-inducing, our bodies at the same frequency, music underneath, a refrain whose measures are the width of a wrist, slope of breast to stomach, ear to collarbone. Our return train to Mainz was slower than our inbound and hijacked by a man in an orange windbreaker claiming to be an EDM DJ from the Netherlands, repeating rambling stories, switching between languages through beer after beer before rushing off flustered for a connecting train, a Hamburg concert that night. And you laugh, saying, as a writer, it's good for me to talk with people, gather details, and not take it all so seriously. Get a bit of levity and glee in my syntax. And we share one of the beers the man left behind, the tips of your ears peeking through your black hair. I resisted the mad urge to nibble your elven features, to make you sigh, as when I brush my lips along the merging of neck and shoulders, and you close your eyes in trust, focus the sensation of contact. We passed a string of small German towns, aging steeples. We napped, looked at photos on our phones, relived other trips. To Kassel for Documenta, Marta Minuin's massive The Parthenon of books, copies of A Woman of 30, Lady Chatterley's Lover, 20 love poems and a song of despair, thousands of forbidden novels held to the replica to scale Greek skeleton by plastic wrap. We saw Bo Dick's masks, horsehair and cedar, chicken feathers and acrylic, morph human to animal to human so that they are no one thing. We shared headphones to listen to Arvo Part, silences like midnight ocean skies, ignoring the crowd around us to take a photo, leaning into each other like skinny birches. And on the return train, you grabbed my arm, exclaimed, a stork, pointing to a power pole where it perched impossibly. Its head swiveled slightly as we hurtled by, and you waved as if to an old friend. Our train approached along the Rhine and also the Seine, the Douro. We followed the Main, riparian at all times, and above a sharp V of bright green ring-necked parrots, lime green plumage, blood-red beaks, and long tail feathers. You among them, wild and conquering, an aerodynamic blaze, prismatic. And you ask me to list all rivers that linger in me and flow through my poems and stories, the Kootenay and the family trips to Alberta, fighting through a snowstorm past Nelson at the pass's summit, then down into the lowlands in relief, exhaling. The Columbia River near Revelstoke, visiting the nearby game farm, ice cream dripping down my fists, the smell of sawdust, cattle, chickens, and the Main and the Rhine mimic the North and South Thompson, and the scrub of near desert climbing dusty hills, mauve against maize-colored dirt. Only months ago, we drove that highway route from Vancouver and wrinkled our noses against the pulp mill smell. You recognize the landscape from Sheila Watson's The Double Hook, the heated dust of each page, stone bottom of drying creek, burnt grass, the brush, rain-starved until the storm breaks. The raw skin of the sky drawn over them like a sack, she wrote. Hard gusts that swirled in the valley, broken branches on neighborhood lawns, battered roof shingles. We both missed the storms of our childhoods, skies split and pouring. The rain swung down the mouth of the valley like a web, strand added to strand, sheet lightning, then thunder. And I searched the skies for low rumbling clouds as I drove, checked the rearview horizon, no strong tailwinds, saw the valley ahead as you saw it and thanked you. Wanted to find a quiet road up the foothills into the forest, sleep outside with you, tangled as tree roots, warmed by early dawn. The sky pricked by lingering morning stars, the pine in your hair, breeze on our skin, holding each other in the wild in birdsong. Before you, I passively accepted and endured in my own solitudes those overfamiliar landscapes. Followed the Thompson River, car rides to my brother's hockey games, through the highways and backwoods of British Columbia, the Fraser, the Columbia, and my mother pulling sandwiches from the cooler, the tick of the cooling motor, water rushing nearby, wineries and vegetable farms, the rocky beach of Kalamalka Lake, parking lots emptying into the Walmart, Penticton to Kelowna to Vernon to Kamloops, colors and temperatures roiling and still, strands, lakeside, river connected, and you, meticulous and almost clairvoyant, patient, observant offspring, broke me from my resistant quiets, intuitively understood that boy who glossed the entire world. Another reason I love you, Mariposa Lily, is that you notice timber, my vowels longer, slower, my duckfoot walk, and you're not startled by the molten parts of me, fed by 2-lane stretches of Highway 6, rural, proud, but conflicted. You see the details that sharpen at the edge of containment, in the middle of that young contrapposto. Sense the weather formations that have lingered for decades, trace the lineage of isolation over politeness. I tour us around where I was raised, the hospital where I was born near the top of the hill by the cadet camp, past the low-slung malls out of Vernon, fields of cow corn that cover the ranch land, the irrigation sprinklers ticking in long arcs of water iambic against the valley's umber slopes. A 12-minute drive to Lavington, population fewer than 2,000, Blue Nose Mountain backdrop of slightly dulled emerald, along the valley floor metered by leaning fence posts and barbed wire. And we turn onto Park Lane to my parents' home, its hedged yard, graveled entrance, the shed mid-acre, the basketball hoops bent rim. I tell you how the last time I came back, I landed in the dark and woke to the view, startled by sheet lightning, and heard Jeanette C. Armstrong. Voices that move within as my experience of existence do not awaken as words. Instead, they move within as colors, patterns, and movements of a beautiful, kind Okanagan landscape. Everything at its full height. And I breathed evenly, pieced together the cobblestones and gravel and brickways and rivers and highways to you, tributaries, cross-province, cross-decades, cross-bodies, uniting us. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We've reached the end of the evening. And I think Jay and Hazel are coming back as well to say goodbye.
Hello, everyone. I think, in fact, we want to invite all of our special guests to turn their cameras back on for a special little something for you, Aaron. Unfortunately, Jay and I are sort of here, though, just to let everyone know that we do have to wind down this, what has been a fabulous evening, just wonderful. We've been very moved throughout the entire thing.
So much love.
So much love. That's fantastic. But before we say our goodbyes and our thank yous and whatnot, first, I think maybe I'll turn it over to you, Julia. Maybe we're going a slight bit out of order from what we planned, but over to you.
Great. I have some of Wiesbaden's best champagne, or I guess bubbly, since it's only champagne if it's from the Champagne region of France, much like the meme, if you are familiar with memes. I would like to propose a toast. So if we could please raise a glass for, okay, wait, sorry. This is to love, to poetry, and to seeing each other soon. And of course, to Aaron. Congratulations.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
like Wiesbaden. Beautiful.
That
Thanks,
was
Julia.
Beautiful, Julia. Thank you. And Aaron, did you want to say any words of goodbye before we
I
part
know.
the evening?
It is very sad. First, I wanted to make sure I thanked Alex for working in the background, stringing all of this together. It was not an easy thing to do, and he did a really terrific job. So thank you, Alex. Thank you to all of the readers who you can see, and also to Adam Seelig and Daniel, Scott Tysdal, and Lia Tarachansky for contributing the videos and the music and everything. I couldn't have asked for a better night, and I think it's just really great to have everybody here in one space, sharing all these different things and weaving them together. Is really nice. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Aaron, too. I mean, you know, you're trusting us with your words. That means a lot to us.
Yes.
Well, that's sweet.
And
Thank you.
It's been a great pleasure to work with you, and we can't wait for readers to meet your beautiful new book.
I was thinking a lot today about when I first met this manuscript, which was well over a couple of years ago. And after reading it the first time, how teary-eyed I was, and then meeting with you at a cafe. Remember when we meet in person at cafes to talk about publication, and trying not to cry through our meeting, because, you know, the manuscript moved me then, it moves me now. And I, again, very moved tonight. So thank you, Aaron, for trusting us, as Jay said, with your beautiful words. And thank you, of course, to, I know Aaron already said it, but thank you to Shazia. Thank you to Kirby. Thank you to Julia. And of course, thank you to Adam and Daniel and Lia for the wonderful videos. They were all so wonderful. And a big thanks to Alex. Yes. Thank you, Alex, for running the tech tonight.
I just want to add one thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
No,
Go ahead, Shazia.
Just want to say thank you to both Aaron and Julia for sharing your love with us. I feel like there's so much PDA, and I'm just like, I feel like it's a whole different way of knowing and being, and it's just so special to be a part of this. So thank you so much. You're both so cute.
Thank you, Shazia.
Well said, well said.
So true.
So we also want to thank everybody who's out there in Zoom land who's joined us tonight. It means a lot that so many people have come out to celebrate Aaron's new book. And of course, we would be remiss as independent Canadian publishers without thanking our funders, the Canada Council for the Arts and the Ontario Arts Council, Ontario Creates and Canadian Heritage for their support of our publishing program, which includes Aaron's book and this event tonight. Big thanks to them. And just a final reminder that you can all order your copy of Catalogue d'Oiseau from our website, bookhugpress.ca, or from Nightfork Book at nightforkbook.shop. And I think that brings us to the end of the evening, sadly. So we wish you all thank you again for coming and joining us tonight. And we wish everyone a great rest of the evening, and please be safe and be well.
Please
And
be
stay
safe.
in love.
Cheers to
Thank
love.
you, everybody. Good night.
Good night,
Thank you
everyone.
again.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey, Jay and Hazel. I was just gonna kind of linger and say goodnight to you, but I'll maybe send you an email then, or I'll talk to you later.
Sounds great.
That's good. Aaron.
Okay. Thank you again for everything. Oh no, congratulations to you, and thank you again for
Oh,
helping. as well.
congratulate us.
Oh, and there's Julia too.
Cheers.
Okay. Good night. Thanks
Good
again.
night.
We'll talk to you later.
You bet.
Bye.